Okay, so let us start. This is going to be D&D 101, so it's just the basics, the philosophy, what to expect, what your role is, so we're going to explain players, DM roles, get a little bit deeper dive into what it does it mean to be a player, have some information for Dungeon Masters, and have a Q&A if we get that far. Okay, so first, where did Mighty come from? We are a bunch of nerds who like D&D. I've been playing for 21 years now, so I know a little bit about the game. We stream and stuff. Please follow us because that is how we're trying to make a living. And you guys get to see our fans post. Okay. I just realized that I'm pressing record on that and I did not go to TikTok live. And can you send Cynthia a text and be like, I'm sorry, he's recording and not going to TikTok live. I apologize. Or if you want to give me that phone, I can switch it to TikTok live.
What would you prefer?
Text and ask what she wants. Okay, so what is D&D? Jeremiah, what's D&D to you?
It is adult, kind of free physical therapy, or not physical therapy, but therapy.
If you play D&D long enough, your dungeon master will become your therapist.
Yeah,
it's gonna become a thing. So D&D is just a mechanic we use to tell a story. And I want to say there's other games out there. There's Call of Cthulhu, there's Kids on Bike, there's 10 Candles, there's Dread, there's Wartborg, there's Skull Wizards. There's thousands of games out there. We're using D&D.
Warhammer 1000.
Yeah, exactly. Warhammer Fantasy, there's so many games out there. We're using D&D because it's the one that we know the most, and people recognize the name, so that's what we're using that to hook you in. But if D&D doesn't feel right, and you want to play a Space Odyssey game, there's gonna be something out there for you. So just letting you know, there's other games out there. Please play other games. I'm gonna go over some lingo. If you don't understand what I'm saying, because again I'm doing this for a long time, interrupt and tell it, hey, what does that mean? But just real quick, a DM is the game master versus GM game master, BBG, the big bad evil, raw, rules as written, a campaign, the entire story. But again, if there's terminology that y'all didn't quite catch, let me know.
Some of it I recognize.
I think you're gonna recognize quite a bit of this. So, let's go with the basics. We have your little math blocks with dice. And in our basics, the D20 is pretty much going to be everything. Anytime the Dungeon Master asks you to do something, this is the die you're going to get. So, simply, I can explain 100 pages like this. Dungeon Master asks you to do something, you roll the die, you add something, or you minus it. Did you pass, did you fail? And that is an entire textbook worth of information. Other slight little caveats in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, they might call for advantage. That means you roll 2 dice, take the higher of the 2 numbers. Disadvantage, the exact opposite. Roll 2 dice, take the lower of the 2. These other dice, their weapons, their charts, their percentages from 100. Did I seduce a person? That's an 84% that you probably did. So it's pretty much the other. Your D20 is going to be your main thing.
That's the one that's going to be rolled the most.
Yes. Anytime anyone asks, because we do games at bars, and it's like, oh, can you please roll me this? Which die is that? Always going to be the D20. Combat, pretty easy to. There's, again, 20 pages worth of information about combat. Explain it super easily. You move. Do something slightly smaller. So there's move action, your action, cast a spell, attack with my blade, try to open a lock. Or then there's a bonus action, like I drink a potion, I pour something onto my blade so it catches fire. 5 seconds worth of movement versus 1 second worth of movement. Action, bonus action. You can always speak, interact with someone, draw your sword, all that's part of your action. But simply, move, action, bonus. And that's it, panel 1. No. In D&D, the basic trinity is players create a character, the DM will narrate the world, and then the dice will decide the outcome. It might be in your favor, it might not, and that's why we play this game, because if you play a game that you're always winning, that's no fun. So there is that chance of you fail or you may not. D&D 101.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
What's lower than 101?
It is
100?
Build a character. Yes. If you want bookmarks or stickers, please take some.
I like a good book.
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Yes.
Wait, are we building characters?
That would have been had a
That was
little-
this morning.
That was
This
this
is-
morning.
yeah.
This
Right
is
now
just
we're-
like going over.
Exactly.
Cool, perfect, even better.
Great. So, to explain most of Dungeons & Dragons, it's going to be, here's the scene, what's your action, roll the dice, what's the outcome. So like the scene could be the DM says, you're in a tavern, you see the storm outside, and then someone comes in, what do? Player be like, I want to persuade the guy that just went by. You roll your d20, add your charisma. Did it succeed? If he succeeds, all right, the person whispers information to you. It failed. The guy was drunk and vomited on you. That's what determines the success or not. And then you build a character to go in one direction or another, kind of like any other video game. As simplistically as we can explain it.
I can imagine like someone trying to connect a voice, you know, in like one of those movies.
Yeah, it's in a world where this shit happens all the time. Here's my golden rule, D&D. The rules are there, but page 1, sentence 1 says, ignore them if they're no fun. You're here to tell a story, you're here to pretend to be a dwarf and an elf with your friends and drink a beer. Like, we're here to do goofy shit, so just have fun with it. If it's not fun, then change whatever you need to change to make it fun. If there is no winning in this game, it's just we're telling a story and we're gonna move forward. We're using D&D as board game mechanics, but that's essentially what we're gonna be doing.
And the player handbook is pretty much just pretty much a guideline. It's not really like you need to follow these steps and rules. I mean, yes, you can do that, but also there's also the like
So it's like
kind of make it more fun.
suggested.
A suggestion to do this stuff, but also there are rules that you kind of need to follow so that you don't really just break the game and just kill everything.
Yeah, it's a
kind
nice set of guidelines that works.
Yes, guidelines is the best way to explain it.
Yeah, I was about to say, it sounds more like a guideline
Yeah.
than logical freedom.
And
Some
yes,
people
you've
think
been
it's stupid.
the numbers are there to set mechanics of the rules. How far did I jump? How fast can I make this obstacle like it diminish or whatever? But the how it's expressed, how we roleplay, how we tell the story, that's all the fluff. That is just us collaborating. So, like most any RPG game that I'm sure y'all have played, there's stats, right? These are the iconic ones in most TTRPGs, tabletop role-playing games.
Or even video games.
Yeah, and video games, yeah, pretty much. So, I have a cute little chart with tomatoes to explain it. Strength, you crush a tomato. Dex, can you dodge that tomato? Con, can you eat a poisoned tomato? Intelligence, knowing that tomato is actually a fruit. Wisdom, knowing not to put tomato in your fruit salad. Or charisma, selling tomato base fruit salad, which is called salsa. Okay, so in D&D, you have your species. I human, that is my species. Or you can be a dwarf, an elf, a Goliath, a half giant, whatever. Class,
Minotaur.
a minotaur, a fighter, a wizard, a cleric. This is where you're gonna get your magic from, your skills. Your species is gonna determine things like innate, inherent biological abilities. Like, can I cast light? Can I see in the dark? As a dragonborn, I can blow out fire. These are not things that were taught. This is just me as a person. I have this ability. And then background, who you were before you became an adventurer. Like, were you a farmer? Were you a soldier? Are you an aristocrat? Are you a criminal? And then those also give you skills. Okay. In standard Dungeons and Dragons, how you roll stats is you get 4d6. That's your Monopoly die. You roll them, you ignore the lowest number, you add the rest. There's also standard array. You can look in a book, it's just numbers that are there. I like to use the 2d6 plus 6 method. It's just faster, and you get funnier results that way. But that's just me.
That populates your character sheet.
Yes,
right?
yes. These numbers, you'll roll them for strength, dex, con, int, wisdom, charisma, and then those numbers contribute to them, and that's what we're rolling. So if you have a really high strength score, and I roll 10 plus my high strength score, I'm gonna pick up that boulder. But if I have a low strength score, no, I can't pick up that boulder. So we picked our race, we picked our class, we picked our background. Now, and we rolled stats. And they're like, okay, so how do I make a good character? Because I get this question from time to time, and a lot of people think my negative score is going to make me a bad character. No, it's interesting. It's going to be fun. Because who doesn't like the goofy wizard who can't lift a boulder? It's comedic interpretation. So, what makes a good character? Helping the story move along. If your dungeon master says, here is a dragon, and you say, nah, I'm bolting, I'm leaving, I don't want to be here anymore. Like, I spent 6 hours playing this game and you guys want to go that way? Yeah. Okay. You're not helping with the story. Helping your friends along, giving them aid, being like, hey, yo, you're supposed to add this to your stuff. Or, being like, dude, that was really cool, that was badass. Or, that sucks, you'll get him next time, Tiger. These are uplifting things. Versus the exact opposite. What makes a bad character? Someone who doesn't want to help with the story. Example. I was playing a game where a paladin, it was the righteous hand of God, was going to face a vampire. They failed their fear save. You're afraid. And he turns to me and says, no, I'm not. I know, it's not really that scary, but your character currently is because of a supernatural being. No, I'm not. My character would not be afraid of this. Now we're breaking the immersion. And just play the clicky clacky rock game. I know it's silly. And I know we're pretending to do voices. But when you don't want to follow the rules, then why have the systems to begin with? Then go write your own book, because that's what you want to do. Those are not helpful characters. Someone who insults the other person. Don't be a jackass. In short.
Yeah.
Nice. Gold rule. Oh yeah.
Usually you're playing with people who are probably your friends.
Yeah, don't
You'd like to be friends after the game.
We would like to. Let's go get a beer.
Yeah.
So, spotlight etiquette. You have your character, it's built, you know what you want to do, you're so excited, you want to get in there, you want to play. Let's talk about some etiquette. Just common rules. At a teacher is anyone here a teacher by any chance? At a teacher convention, I was told, since my spouse is a biologist, and at a teacher conference, she was told that the easiest way to get a room full of adults just talking amongst themselves, even in the profession and academia levels, is raise your hand if you want to talk. And that's kind of what we do. As you can see, our friend Jess over here, it's just I guess the idea is, if someone's talking, don't interrupt them. If they're adding to a scene, if they're role-playing their loved one crushing them, and you're like, hey, I want to go shopping. Dude, you're killing the mood, man. We're just the drama's developing. So what we do is we raise our hand. It's just simple. And if there's multiple people, we kind of have a little method where
have one, have two.
Yeah, so I know oh, okay, I have him and then I have you next. Just basic. Other things are kind of cool. Combat takes a while, because how we express combat is in a fight. A real fight is going to take, 12 seconds and it's over, pretty much. But when you play a game, you're going to be here for an hour. We're going to explain 12 seconds in an hour, because every single person is going to explain what they did at that exact 6 or 5 second interval. So, because it's taking forever to get back to Johnny over here, Johnny better know what he wants to do by the time we get to his turn, because he's like, hey, it's your turn. What? Like,
Yeah.
you know, it just helps this game get speed along a little bit faster. But also,
yeah, sometimes what you want to do, somebody just did before you get to your turn.
So have a backup.
Yeah, so
It's
okay.
that is
Plan B, C, D, E.
Contingencies everywhere.
Yeah, and we have a friendly enough group that, you know, let's say what you wanted to do isn't working, and maybe you can ask the DM and just say, I really wanted to do this, and now I can't, and I want to do something, be like, well, would you try this, you know? It's kind of collaborative.
we're just here for please come in.
Yeah, please, if you
Hi, child.
yeah, you can.
So metagame. It's a term being like I know this information. Does my character know that information? Like I know trolls are weak against fire, but my character they've never seen a troll, and now I'm like, oh yeah, they're weak against fire, so I'm gonna use the fire spell. If you never encountered one, if you never knew one, it kind of breaks the immersion. Like I know that guy has an AC of 15. You guys have to roll like. Let's just pretend for a second we're in fantasy land and like let's just slap the sword.
Break down roleplay.
Yeah.
So that's just the term. Generally, it's very common, no metagaming. But every table's different. I've played in some tables that there's no roleplay. Like we're here to roll math rocks and to kill things and hack and slash. And if that works for your table, fantastic. Our table we make each other cry and we go through every single phase of death and we experience love and loss. And that's what we do because we're drama.
We feel guilty for killing monsters sometimes.
I will make you feel guilty for killing a monster. Yes.
Yeah.
So just have a table of like-minded
Because
players.
it's
Yeah,
drama.
you
Don't mix it up. It could become a
Or
problem.
just
It could,
establish what
but,
you want
yeah.
and
Yeah.
work on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just agree it.
And
Agree to disagree.
with that, we're going to discuss a little bit more, and you guys are like right on it for there's a thing called Session Zero,
Perfect
which is like this is the game where we sit down and we discuss all the things we want to do. Like, are we going to bring food? Is vaping allowed? Can we? Can I bring my fidget spinner? Can I bring my kid along? My schedule is really conflicting with this time. Can we change it? That's all Session Zero. It's like the first game before we actually start. Let's sit down. Let's discuss the rules because we're going to commit for the next 3 years of our lives to be Samwise Gamgee the halfling. So like, you know, if I'm gonna put some time into it, I want this relationship to work out. But in general rule of thumb, like just respect other people. Don't be a dick. Other kind of things, let the dungeon master explain rules. Don't interrupt other people from talking. Pretty simple. That's it.
Alright, let's get a combat.
Is anyone here interested in being a dungeon master?
Wait, what?
A dungeon
Being a
master.
DM.
You're the person that sits behind the screen and you're like, I'm creating the world. Okay, so let me just a couple of things. Players, again, in combat, to explain 20 to 40 pages summed up, you move, you do a thing, then you do a small thing. Action and a bonus action. Action could be casting a spell, could be taking a dash action, as in I'm running. I could hide. I can help him do something. I can attack with my swords. I can shoot a bow. All action. Bonus action would be I'm drinking my potion. What's another?
Healing
You
sometimes.
said sheathing a sword.
Yeah, that's part of your action. There's
Like
sometimes you can cast a spell that's
Or changing
really
weapons.
fast. You can change your weapon. All bonus actions. There's other things. Reaction outside your turn. What up?
So
Yeah.
So my brother and I have played Dungeons and Dragons. Played one time with our cousin. There were just three of us.
Sure. Like that
Kind of winging it.
starter
We're
kit.
using like a starter kit kind of DM system.
Hell yeah, yeah.
Because we didn't know what we were doing, and we thought like we interpreted it as like if you have like a broadsword or a longsword, like one of your action is just taking it out, not actually swinging. Is that a thing? Is that
By rules as raw, when you attack, you take out your sword and swing. That is all part of the same action. Me taking out my bow, shooting, that's all the same action.
Because we thought like when we knew we were kind of coming up on something that might get hairy.
Yeah.
Take your sword out first, so you have your action.
In earlier systems, switching out your weapons took more time.
Oh, okay.
But and that was when things were called like full round actions versus a minor action. But that's a difference. And now it's just you just do it.
Got it. Okay, cool.
And I think for casters, sometimes you want to get things ready.
Yeah.
If you have like a mage armor you want to put on first or something before you start encountering like those kind of
Yeah,
things. you can do.
because there's wizards, like for example, a wizard's staple spell is mage armor. Because the wizards typically don't have really big armor.
Right.
Physical
Because
defense.
physical defense, they're squishy. They're only wearing robes. They don't have leather armor or heavy plate.
Maybe your wizard is.
But typically, like, we're about to enter a cave. There's probably monsters in there. I'm casting mage armor right now,
Yeah.
and then you go to
Right.
and that is true. Like what you did say, that is also a thing that you could be like. It looks like there's gonna be a threat. I'm unsheathing my sword right now.
Yeah.
Like kind of like that. It's like
Cool.
because
Like a ready action.
the DM do say sometimes like, what do you want to do right now? It's like, oh, it feels like there's gonna be a threat. I'm gonna prepare and do this, that, do this and do that, kind of like that.
Cool.
And let's say we're gonna encounter combat, right? How do we actually start? Again, D20 to be your main guy. You roll. You add your dexterity modifier. You determine a specific order. And you're like, alright, it's my turn. I attack. I roll my die, plus any modifiers that I have. Do I hit? Cool. Then I roll my weapon die and attack, and I do damage. As you can see in the example. D20 plus 5, I hit the AC. If I hit, 1d8 plus 3, because my strength modifier is plus 3. That is the most simplistic interpretation of how to do combat. Free tip, teamwork, always help your friends, always communicate, don't be silent. Be like, hey, I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna hit him in this side. You flank him from over there. Because I'm sure we would probably be doing that in real life. Like, I gotta go over here, Bob, you'll take out that other guy. Because you don't want to die. So teamwork is your friend. Okay, you have your character, you know how to play, you already mastered all the rules, but where are you gonna find a table? So here are some locations. Comic stores, bars are gonna be good friends. If you're so inclined and you're in a position to start one at school or whatever, do it. Schools like clubs. You start one up.
It's Stranger Things. The shared rings.
Exactly.
Also, if you just can't find a group that you want to play with, or you want like more online, there's Roll20.com, which is a website that is all digital. You like even has like for your webcam, you'll have sound effects. You can have tokens, all that jazz. There's also StartPlaying.games. That one is like for professional dungeon masters. You're gonna have to pay to be in that club, but the result is I'm going to give you an epic adventure that you're going to not forget because I am a professional. Roll20 is the same thing.
Is that experience like a one sit down, or do you have to schedule and be like, we're doing
you're
this?
you're gonna like, let's say I was one of you're my clients and I'm the DM. We're gonna probably guarantee there's gonna be a session 0. We're like, this is free. We're not charging you for this. We're gonna sit down. It's gonna be every Friday from this time to this time. Is that cool with you guys? We're gonna go through this adventure. We're gonna do this. I'm gonna break down sounds. If anyone has like any like phobias, triggers, all that stuff, tell me so I don't include it in my game. And like you have you're paying me to give you an experience that you want.
Got it.
So that's what StartPlaying.games is.
Got it.
Sometimes when it's like kind of a small module or something.
Yeah, usually they do modules. If you know who this guy is, the Dungeon Master of Daddy Dungeon Master, what I would like for y'all is don't compare yourselves to the big streamers and the professional voice actors because they don't want you to be them, they don't want you to emulate them. You're your own self. Your group, your table is going to be completely different. If the same exact people play the game and all they switch is just the Dungeon Master, it's going to be a completely different experience. There's never going to be the same table again. And that's kind of the beauty of it. So just don't compare yourself to that guy.
You say
but
as you
what-
stand in front of mappers. That's it.
Stole my ideas. Okay, so let's talk about session 0. If you leave right now and all you remember is we should have session 0 before we actually start playing the game, I fucking can be happy going home. Session 0 is so important. So, at session 0, both we will talk about the tone ticket. I like giving out consent forms. Even though I know my players have been playing a long time, real life experience. One of my players had a tragedy happen in them, and they're like, I sent them the consent form, like, I can't have cancer as part of the game. Like, I can't deal with that right now. And like, that's something none of us knew, but now that I know as Dungeon Master, I will not put that in there because that's just not fair. So that's what it is. A very simplistic way is, hey, tell me your hard nose and soft nose. Like, in romantic scenes, you want just fade to black, PG-13, rated R. At our table game, when we have like at ours, I have these little cards that are just like, if anyone feels uncomfortable, if it's too gory, if it's too bloody, just like, hey, let's just skip this. I don't want to be part of this right now. Let's skip this. Yeah, and that's 100% needs to be respected. Because if it's not, then I don't know, respect other people. Shouldn't be hard. Just do it. Campaign tone. Heroic. Are we going to be Lord of the Rings characters out in an adventure? Or is it going to be grim, dark, and we're going to go into the city of Gotham and it's going to be raining every single day and everybody needs to be gruff and smoky? Or it's going to be dorky and cute and everyone's just going to be a surfer bro. It's going to be like awesome vibes, man. Like, because if I build a character that is all memes and he's DMing a super serious drama-filled, my guy's not gonna clash well with his game. Now, if we talk about it and we agree that that's cool, then that's a different story. But the campaign tone is like, this is where we're gonna go. This is what we're gonna do. And the campaign's gonna be 100% in this frozen wasteland. So if you build a character that is weak against ice because you didn't know, that you're gonna have a bad time. If you're in the world of writing your own stories, I recommend short-term goals, long-term goals, because it helps the Dungeon Master see what you want to do. It helps us write for y'all, especially if like you're playing off a module. We can take parts of those stories. Modules like the pre-made games of the stores. Like Curse of Strahd, Rise of Tiamat, all those like official Dungeons and Dragons books that you buy that like has the story for you. I can read that and be like, oh, he wanted something along the lines of this tournament. Okay, cool. I'll change the wording, change the characters to fit his backstory. Because I know he wanted to fight in a tournament. And short-term goal could be tournament, like fighting, winning the tournament. I just want to be the best that I can be, versus like I want to get a gym badge is a short-term goal versus a long-term goal being I want to defeat the Elite Four. That is the entire story. If anyone didn't get that, let me know. Because
Is the gym badge a Pokemon?
yeah, it's Pokemon.
Yeah, I got that right.
You got it.
So you want to be one of the gym leaders?
Yes. A gym leader would be short-term goal. The entire league is the long-term. Water is such a good friend of yours. Okay. Not only is there character goals, there's also player goals. Like I gave this to my one of my players. He said, all I want to do is I just want to fight a dragon on a sky ship. I don't care anything else. I just want to fight a dragon on a sky ship. And we did it. It was epic. I made him feel bad about killing that dragon. But
Every time he does that.
He does that.
But because
We try to discuss with them now. We try to convince them not to fight because she feels so bad for killing him.
Because at the end of the day, this is a board game. We are, sitting around a table pretending to be fantasy characters. So, let's also enjoy the board game aspect of it. This isn't, boot camp for drama class. Like, let's have fun too. I like the nice middle ground. You also again discuss how long is it going to be? Is there breaks? If you miss 3 games in a row, am I still cool? Because like my job schedule is really shitty, and like I have night shifts and day shifts, and they keep alternating. So like, we talk about that during session 0. Can we eat? Is eating a distraction? Can I vape? Like, can we drink? Like, what's allowed? What's not allowed? Are you gonna have pets in the house because I'm allergic to them? That's also a good one. Not speaking from experience. Party competition. If everyone just wants to be a tank and wants to be a barbarian, bro, dope. If everyone just wants to be healers, fine. But now the Dungeon Master knows that and can prepare that. Because if I know that there's going to be no healers in my game, there's some Dungeon Masters like, no, I need one of y'all to be a healer.
Potions. Drink,
But-
stock a lot of potions.
Yeah, for my Dungeon Master, for my DM, wait, sure, the correct word. How I DM is, you guys play whatever you want, and I'll facilitate anything else. If there's no healers, I'm gonna give out more potions of healing than I normally would, because I want y'all to be what you want to be,
And not die so
and not die so fast, because dying sucks. So, yeah,
I don't know if this is a session 0 question.
what up?
Do you have like a book of characters you've made, or do you just carry the same character with you?
So, great question. Normally, there's one shot. We're playing this game one time, that's it, I built that character. Then you, for a full-fledged campaign, you make one person, and then you're going to play that individual for the entire campaign unless they die or whatever.
Right.
If you're switching to a different campaign, normally you start a new character.
Got it.
Now there is a thing called Adventure League. That's like I build a character by all the official rules. Like nothing cannot be as an official Dungeons and Dragons rule. And I take that person to different cons and I go to different adventures.
Okay.
And then the DM will stamp approval and sign they did get this magic item. And then 2 months from now I'm gonna go to another con in Houston and play that same exact person with the exact same gear.
And creating your character by rolling and stuff, that is just honor system, correct?
Yeah, so for like Adventure League, there's a thing called Standard Array, which like these are the numbers you roll. These are the numbers you're picking. It's 15, 14, so on and so
13,
forth.
14, 13, 12.
And 8. Because the game is wrapped around this is the average you're gonna roll. So there is no cheating.
Yeah, got it.
That's
So the stats are pretty much based off of what you roll. What
yes.
you roll
For a
is what's
home
your
game,
stat.
yeah. Because a Dungeon Master could be like, I don't want someone to be too powerful because they got lucky and rolled really high. So I want everyone to be the same basic stats. I like the luck system. I'm kind of good in the middle because I think the 46 subtract the lowest number is too chaotic. You could have the lowest number be a 3, which means if you have, let's say you have a 3 in strength, you can't pick up 20 pounds. Like, you're fairly weak. But, it's better. My system is 2d6 plus 6 because your minimum is 8, which is averagely weak.
Yeah.
But your maximum is still the highest number you can get. That's just my mechanic.
Characters level up during the campaign.
Yeah.
They'd be able to add on their stats.
100%, yeah. So how the game works is like every 4 levels, you get to pick. Do you want one of my skills to go up? Like, I have been hitting the books, I got smarter. So my intelligence will go up. Or you can pick a feat. And feats are just like special moves. You know, here's my Shuriken, here's my my Kamehameha versus like a Destructiveness. And they could be things such as like
There's a feat where the Warcaster,
That's a good one.
where now the Warcaster can ignore like half cover, like because there's somebody hiding behind a table. And, like it's harder for me to hit, but with a Warcaster I can hit you easily now because like I've been training.
Right.
Or there's a sharpshooter feat for ranged person, ranged attack like those.
Yeah.
Like now I've trained my bow to really hit that person all the way over there. So now my damage score will be higher. Kind of like that. So like,
Is spell still
What was that?
spell? Where you can do 2 weapons
Yeah, you can get 2 weapon fighting is still an engine.
or it's not a feat though, right?
2 weapon fighting is a VA. Yeah. It's a fighter. Okay, so dungeon masters. If you want to be a dungeon master, here's things to expect. Your role. Everybody's role as a player. Advance the story. Dungeon master, we're kind of the referee. We know a little bit about the rules. We're like, that's not how that spell works, and I wanna let's do it as raw. Versus, I know that's not how that spell works, but dude, that was a great interpretation. Let's go with that. You're also the storyteller. You're the one that speaks. You're the one that's telling how the grass moves and the blades and the songbirds are singing and the air just smells like butterscotch. And then you also create the world. You tell them there is a tree there because I said so. There be tree. If you are a dungeon master, there's different types of DMs. People that focus on combat, people that focus on story, people that all they want to do is just improv and never touch the dice. You'll find your niche. Just whatever you do naturally, have fun with it. And as long as your players are smiling, you're doing your job. That's all that really matters.
Having fun.
Yeah, having fun is the key to this. Rule of cool. Has anyone heard of that? Okay, I love rule of cool. Rule of cool is the mechanics say this, but it sounds cooler if I do this. It would be cooler if you did or didn't. Jeremiah, do you have a story for this?
I have always one story for Rule of Cool.
Yeah.
That happened when we were playing. I was playing as a rogue, and one of my friends is playing as a barbarian. And battle happens. He said, "Roll initiative." As we roll initiative, initiative is like who goes first, who goes last, kind of sort of deal. And then we rolled initiative and said, "Okay, we're taking a break. 15 minutes." He went downstairs, and then immediately the barbarian told me, he was like, "Jeremiah, I have a plan." It's like, "Okay, talk to me." It's like we talked to the plan, and then he comes back up, and then the plan was me as the rogue. I'm a teeny tiny rogue. I'm an elf rogue, 5 foot tall elf rogue, and he's like 6'7", 300-pound barbarian. It's like, you're gonna ride on my shoulder, so I rode on his shoulder, and he moved forward, and then he threw me to the hill giant. This was like a level 6, I think.
Yeah.
And this fight was supposed to take us the whole session.
Yeah.
This is like a 3-4 hour session. This is like maybe 15 minutes into the
Yeah.
game. He threw me to the hill giant, and me as the rogue, I was holding a specific bag called Bag of Devouring.
It's a cursed item.
It's a cursed item.
Anything
It's
that
a
goes
bag.
in there gets swallowed.
Yeah, it's a bag of holding. There's a bag of holding in D&D where you just put in this item, put this item, put
It's like
this
the
item.
minus
It is.
And it's
Put it in
in
one
there,
bag.
but it still looks like a little pouch.
Except things can't
The
live
bag
in
of
there.
devouring is different. If I put this item, that's gonna get destroyed.
It's like a black hole.
Kind of like a black hole. So I jumped. He threw me. He rolled. The barbarian rolled the dice. He rolled natural 20.
Yeah, you roll.
Of course.
So I'm like, all right, 16.
Okay, that through reach there, but I also need to do like an athletics or acrobatics
Yeah,
check
acrobatics.
for me to land on the hill giant. I rolled real high. I landed on the hill giant and then head. And then he said, "Pause. Let me think about this. Mechanics doesn't really work this way because that's a big head.
You're a
We're a small
15
bag.
Tiny little bag.
Dude, so yeah,
But
it's-
that was cool. Roll dice and see how that works.
And
because of those dice and stuff like that happen. Boop. Hill giant goes into the bag. Next round happens. He read the the magic item of the bag of devouring. Okay, I need
DC 20 on strength to break open through it.
And the Hail Giant has like plus 15 strength.
Yeah, they have
like
an incredibly high number.
like
of strength.
high number to strength, so he has a very high chance that the bag
Breaking that.
that the Hill Giant will break out of the bag. He rolled and he said, "That's a 19. That's lower than a 20." The Hill Giant did not survive; it died immediately.
And it just lied and cool. Like, I'm gonna destroy your magic item.
Yeah,
so
the
you
magic,
don't do more shenanigans.
yeah, the
but-
magic item got destroyed with the Hill Giant, and then now.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "This is what I wrote for the game. It's nothing. I didn't write nothing for this game because we were supposed to have a 4-hour session of fighting this hill giant.
So, like,
Now what?"
What do y'all want to do?
Go
Because
shopping.
we're live on Twitch right now, so we can entertain people. So that's rule of cool. Yeah, you bend the rules because it's cool. Like it's a nice narrative.
Yeah.
For improvisation, there are two rules of. Oh, there you go. Yes and the other one is no but. So if I succeed on a roll, yes, and we're carrying on the story. But what if I fail? A lot of dungeon masters like, I'm searching the room. Did I find anything? No. And then that's it. That's generally what happens. But the no kind of slows down the progress of the game. So I like no, but you did see footprints. Now here's a clue. Yes, you didn't get what I wanted you to get, but here's a clue to move the story along. So, yes and no buts. Please tell us your character arcs. And I like to tell my players how my story is going to be structured. You guys are going to be, I'm not spoiling anything, but you guys are going to start in a Coliseum, and then we're going to move over to the Arctics. Build your characters accordingly. Because if not, there's just, it helps the people making the character know what to expect, and it's just open communication. Pretty much it. Yeah. What
Are there times when y'all play or have played with other people where you have like a your characters are like level 10 and someone's like level 1? Does that work?
In the older system, that's how that would work. In like
They have to level
second
up kind of
edition.
organically,
Yeah, in the older system, like let's say we were all playing and then like my character died, I would have to make a character from level 1 and catch up with y'all, even though you're level 10. It's how the table wants to rule it, but it's very common that if something happens to my character and everyone is level 10, it's expected of me to make a level 10 character.
Start from scratch.
Yeah.
Start from scratch, and then the
And
DM
just keep leveling it up till you
introduce that new character.
So
to
like
the
a
party.
hero is now a wizard who knows all the spells the last wizard knew. And so we start at the same level because if not, the monster scales get so outrageous that
Right, that what can he do? You know,
Yeah.
what can level
Exactly.
1 do?
Absolutely, and they'll just die.
You'll just stand
yeah,
there
one hit and you're dead.
or
So.
run away.
So this is Cinnabon. He is my baby. I love him more than life itself.
That's valid. Yeah.
He
And
barks on a lot of our streams.
if you ever watch this and you hear doggo barking, that is Cinnabon. He saw something outside and the world must know now. So, as a dungeon master, you accept more responsibility. The biggest advice I can give you is it's okay to pause, take a breather, be like, I need 5 minutes, I don't know what the rules are for this, like let's just chill. Don't feel stressed that you have to know everything right away, because even the person who wrote the books, when he DMs, he's like, I don't know what that means. Let me get my book that I wrote and look it up. Because there's hundreds of books.
Right.
So there's also something called burnout. I know all of y'all have experiences. There's burnouts with DMing because you're putting so much mental energy into this game, and it takes a lot.
Yeah.
So if you're seeing your dungeon master like, I can see that you're struggling. I can see that the game's having a little bit sloppier. Dude, do you want to just like play cards right now? Do you want to go get a pizza? Like, let's just chill.
It's a game. You can stop it.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Exactly. The characters will live another day.
Yeah, just like there should be a good work-life balance, good DM life balance is also important. As a DM, you're gonna be expected to settle disputes. Like, hey, dude, like, chill. I know that they took your gold, but like, hold on. We're gonna do this, and then we're gonna go back to that, right? So that's something that a DM, you know, when you get into that position, you have a little bit more responsibility. It doesn't have to be that way for every single table, but generally. Sometimes you become people's therapist. It's a thing. Because I know you so well, because you gave me so many characters that are part of you.
And then sometimes it's even a surprise, like you're just working through, you know, you get kind of into your role playing and you're working through a story and you realize, oh, this would really destroy my character. So then we've had people just get super emotional and start leaning on, you can tell their real life experiences and you're like, okay, we're all going to be respectful and working through this with you because
I've had a
theater of
person
the mind is a funny thing.
Theater of the mind,
Sometimes it gets you.
They have done psychological tests on this, and our brain, when we remember that orc doing that battle, our brain says, I was there doing that battle. So like this game can be very therapeutic. I've had a person who in our games who had a parent pass, and in the game I helped them and allowed them to say goodbye to that parent because they didn't have that chance as a child. And it was an emotional experience for everybody, but it meant so much to this game. It's also cool to share the load, like as a DM, like it's gonna be at my house and then I have to clean, I have to get the snacks for everybody, and then like if I don't know the rules, I have to look at the book, like, dude, just chill. You're bringing snacks, it's gonna be at your place, and then this other person, if I don't know the rules, they'll look it up because I'm telling the story. You know, and bring it up. Fun is the main thing to do. Fun, no perfectionism. Just have fun. 15? Gosh dang. Okay, this is Henry. This is their puppy. Villains and consequences. Let's right.
He also gets in the wheel.
Villains. Give them motivation. Give them a reason. I like saying, don't make them lamps. They're not just there to take up space and light. They should have an emotional connection to the players. Again, if your table's just hack and slash, dope. That's your table. If everyone's having fun, leaving with smiles, you did it perfectly. If you want a little bit more involvement, emotion, why are they doing this?
Yeah.
What is the connection?
A kind of quick example is I'm DMing right now. I don't know what module what you were playing started, but I'm DMing a Lost Minds of Fandom, and I'm reading. I read through the module and was like, why is the BBEG, the big bad evil guy or gal, why are they trying to basically destroy this world or something like that? What is the motivation? Like, why is the party wanting to go to this big bad person and fight them and kill them or whatever? What's the reason? Like, I don't get it. When I was reading the module, it was like, the party will do all this stuff and then fight the big bad guy. It's like, but why? So I introduced the bad guy in the second session.
They gave him a reason.
Because you're in that part, you're in that game. But I gave them a reason why.
Yeah.
Like, introduce that person, like make them trust this person, and then all of a sudden, oh, so you're the bad guy this whole time. You're trying to betray me because you're trying to steal something from me.
I would also say that as a dungeon master, consequences, if they did something wrong, don't punish the person, punish the character. Like, don't call them an asshat. Be like, okay, since something bad happened, your gold got taken, your house got burned down. The villain now gave your dad a smooch. I don't know, whatever the consequences are. Okay, so, other advice, share the loot. It's really easy to be like, there's 500 gold there, what do y'all do? I would be like, 100, 100, 100, 100. Everybody gets even gold. Because we all level up evenly. If you don't, it's gonna happen. Where someone's like, I'm gonna roll sleight of hand and see how much money I can take. It's just like, everybody gets the same stuff. I like to also keep track of the magical items that I get. Just because if I know I'm giving Jeremiah too many magical items, I'm like, okay, cool. I need to write something so now, I was gonna call you Will, not even Jeff, I was gonna call you Will for a second, dude.
Hey,
so I know
Will's
that-
pretty awesome. I like
It's like, oh, well, Lee doesn't have as many magic items as Jeremiah. Let me write in the story so she can find something. And it should be earned. It shouldn't just be, I just give you stuff.
You found that magical sword.
Yeah. Because we have such a short time, if you're interested really in the these and the these, you can take a screenshot of this, a photo, sorry, not a screenshot. These are a lot of the resources that I use. 5e.tools is gonna be so great. If you need a book, a reference, a chart, it's there. There's also tabletop audio if you just want like to hook up your laptop to a speaker and just have like good atmospheric music. That's a great website.
And it's all duty free.
Oh yeah, it's all free. Yeah. You can go to like magicitems.tools. You can like create custom items, print them out, and give people like a scroll that looks dope. If you're playing online, if you go to rolladvantage.com/token stamp, you can create your own custom tokens that you can put on digital maps. If you're playing in person, other than Amazon and other chains like that, if you go to Lito, yeah, they have amazing. You want a little fire scene? They have little minis for fire. If you want like a wall of ice, if you need an elephant mount, they have everything.
I've always wondered where DMs get all that stuff.
Yeah, other than just game stores, there. Now you can 3D print and stuff,
Yeah,
but
that's true.
and then Shop of Many Things has dope items. Like for example, if you really want a map that has a seat, like I draw the map with this pen, but if you turn off the light and use this black light with that pen, you'll see a map underneath the map. Cool little device. Or like, here is the lock. I'm gonna hand you an actual puzzle lock. Figure it out as a rogue. Undo the puzzle. Just really cool, like tactile doing this. That's my bird Donut. I love him. He's amazing. He's the sweetest boy ever.
The sweetest wrestler ever.
Sweetest wrestler ever. Wrestler. Shit.
Fastest dancer.
Oh yeah. He knows how to.
Cat calls us when we walk in.
Yes, he does cat call you.
Means to give good vibes.
If he cat calls you, that means he likes you.
Yeah. It's like, hey.
Does anyone have any questions? Yes.
Do y'all have usually a pretty scheduled Twitch stream? Or
Yes.
is it random?
It's every Monday. We do
Yeah.
either board games or video games. Every Friday is our stream. Or D&D.
Friday evenings.
Yeah, Friday at 7 p.m. to 10. Except for the last Friday of the month because we are at a bar and we do live video there.
Yeah. So one shots. and
Where
stuff.
do y'all do that?
It's by Houston at Excalibur Brewery. I don't know if you guys are local here.
Yeah, we're here.
Okay. So yeah, it's a.
If ever you're there,
If you're ever in Houston, check out Excalibur.
Okay.
it's a fun place.
Yeah, good beer and good DMs because we'll be your DMs.
Have y'all been to Scarborough yet?
No.
I saw the photo. It looked like y'all were at Red Fest.
Yes, that was the Texas Red Song. We haven't been to Scarborough and I've gone to Sherwood.
Been to Texas and shit.
Yeah.
No,
Texas is getting so big now.
We went there the COVID year because Scarborough didn't have it, and the Texas one was in like November, later in the year, and they had it, so we went down there for that one.
Yeah. I believe there's some D&D games there too.
Yeah.
I think one of my friends in Oklahoma did, where like you go around and you do quests and stuff.
Oh, that's
and yeah, so like you go over there and do this quest, get an item, go over here, do that, and then come to me at the end and you get a
That's
bonus.
cool.
It's a
Sorry, that was a totally non-D&D question.
that's fine.
I mean, that's a Q&A.
It's Q&A.
Yeah,
You
I
ask
mean,
questions.
you go
I
from
give you
roleplay to
answers.
LARPing real quick. So.
But yeah, any questions back?
What would be the best place for two rookies?
to play D&D?
Yeah.
I would say if there's a game store around Dragon's Lair
Yeah.
or Acid, when's your game nights? Are there any openings?
Yeah.
And if for whatever reason you absolutely just cannot find a physical game, because
Right.
there's nothing better than just being there.
Right.
Roll20.
Okay.
Roll20.net. There's a thing called Reddit, looking for games.
Better looking for games.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So you can always check that out too, and there'll be plenty of resources that are like at your local areas. Like in Houston, there's one where like if you go to the Houston area, there's just people being like, hey, I have an opening at my house Tuesday nights from this time to this time. Anybody's open. Or like I do this event where there's always a game at this bar, this library, or whatever.
Yeah.
And you know, that's
Sick. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
all right.
Thank y'all so much,
Thank
y'all.
you.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it. Really appreciate it.
If you guys want any stickers
Yeah.
or bookmarks, please.
QR codes and all.
Yes. Yes. Do it.
Just do it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Y'all enjoy your weekend.